I've been reflecting on it quite a lot. And I realised that what I used to be able to do if it was quiet in business wasn't working last year. And I didn't change it quick enough. I didn't change up how I was trying to get new business. So nothing changed if nothing changes.
Welcome to Rad-Ventures, the podcast that takes you on an exhilarating journey through the lives of business owners and entrepreneurs. Great to have you on the show. Please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello, thank you for having me. So I'm Harriet. I am a client experience and systems strategist, and I help people behind the scenes with their business systems, helping them create amazing Rave-Worthy systems that their clients love. And I use Dubsado and ClickUp to help create those experiences for them. I'm based in Portsmouth in the UK, and in my non-work life, I love to keep fit and active. I'm often out on adventures with my partner and our dog, and we have a camp van, and we take that out and about and see cool stuff and do cool things.
Nice, I like it. Okay, so a few things to unpack there. Firstly, I'm going to go with Portsmouth. Quite like Portsmouth.
Yes.
I like the historic dockyard.
Yes, I don't go there very often because I live here and it's a touristy thing, and classic, we don't go there. But yes, it is cool. The only time I've been there recently was when I ran through it for the Great South Run.
I used to do a little bit of running.
Yes.
I do a little bit now, but not as much as I used to. Unfortunately, a little bit of an injury, and I've been advised not to run marathons ever again. So, and that's what it's all about, isn't it? Running the marathons.
I've never run a marathon, but I do like running. I quite like trail running because it's acceptable to walk, whereas on the road, you feel like you can't stop.
Yeah. I must admit, I did one called the Stickler. I think it was like the 10th year anniversary, and I entered it on 3 days before or something. So I missed out on the t-shirt, my name being on the t-shirt. But it's 3 hills in Dorset, and basically you get 100 yards in, and then you're just going up this steep bank. So just everyone's walking. It's great.
Yeah. Oh, I might have to look at that because Dorset's not far because you're on the sea. In the sea, near the sea.
I'm not in the sea. I'm in a house, but yeah,
near it. Do you?
Near it, yeah.
Do you indulge in a sea dip very often? Cold sea dips?
No, I keep meaning to. It's one of those, like you say when it's touristy in Portsmouth for the historic dockyard. It's like when you live. I live in Weymouth, and so the beach is a bit touristy. So I tend to I'll go occasionally and I wander up it, and but yeah, I want to do sea dipping things because I did not only running, but I also did triathlon, so I did a lot of sea swimming. But it's it is a bit I've run the seafront so many times in different vape races and training, and I've swam a couple of races in the sea, and you kind of I don't know, it's got that kind of feel about it, been there, done that kind of thing.
A little bit samey, and then when it's your home route as well, you want to mix it up, get back on the hills.
Especially when when you've been there, done that, and you're doing the seafront, it's 6.5 minute miling, and then then you're not as fit as you used to be, and now you're kind of barely making 15-minute miling, and you're a bit like, oh my god, I used to do this.
I don't know the miles because I do everything in kilometres, so I'm just smiling and nodding like, that sounds good. You could tell me anything and I'd be like, wow.
Yeah. See, I like to, but then people like to work in kilometres. I was working miles, but then I'll be going along, converting it, because obviously all the race distances are in kilometres. Well, ish kind of. Well, you got 5K, 10K. 20K, then half marathon at 13.1, and then marathon at 26.2. But it's but yeah, I'll be so that kept me distracted while I was running. So I'd be like, oh, we've done 3 miles in like 0.2 of a mile. That'd be 5k. Yeah, keep going. You're all right, and stuff like that, just to distract me.
Yeah, lots of
Anyway,
quick maths.
yeah, enough about running.
Yeah.
So we've done Portsmouth. We kind of done the hobbies, really. Though I have seen on your Instagram your camper van. That's cool, and your camper van adventures.
Yes.
I can't remember what your dog is. You'll have to remind me.
He's a Hungarian Vizsla hunter.
Oh, yes. I do remember now.
He's cool. He keeps us busy. He's good fun.
I would imagine.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, okay, so yeah, we met through Mel Moore, who was on the show
Yeah.
a while back now. But it was because she shared your recent post of how you changed your offering recently.
Yes. Well, it was a year ago, really.
Was that a
So
year ago?
the post probably wasn't, but I changed what I did about a
Okay.
year ago. So Mel shared my post about how I dropped OBM retainers at the beginning of last year, and focused then purely on projects and system setups, and kind of started to hone in more on my background in client experience and how I've brought that now into the online space and how I help current clients with it, and improving their client experience systems.
Okay. So was your previously to that then, obviously with your OBM retainer, did you start as a VA then and then move to
Yeah.
OBM and then move to systems and project management?
Yeah.
Is that something you always wanted to do then?
No, I didn't even know any of it really existed.
Okay.
Yeah, until I was furloughed in 2020. Yeah, and I did. So I kind of knew of the VA work because I'd always thought that PA work would be cool when I was in corporate, PAEA, and then discovered it in the virtual world when I got furloughed. I'd never heard of an OBM before. It was actually through Mel that I discovered what an OBM was. I remember her talking about it on stories. And I was like, I think I could do that. I think I could have a go at that. So that's when I started looking into it a bit more. I took a course, and Mel at the time was my coach. She started helping me develop that as a service, and then I transitioned to an OBM.
Okay, so what did you do prior to Furlough then?
Right. Oh, so Furlough. So my background was in events management. I worked at Goodwood, the motor circuit.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't ask me how did I get into it. So it's a local estate to me. I actually grew up, it's going way back, being really into horses. My first proper job after uni was at Fontwell Racecourse at the horse racing track there. But I always wanted to work at Goodwood because it just had this like amazing reputation as being, delivering world-class events, and it's just a really cool place to work. There's lots going on. So when I got an opportunity to work at Goodwood, I went there, and then stayed at the motor circuit for like 6 years. So that was my background. I left there to go and work for a supercar storage company that did tours for their tours abroad in France, America, for their clients to take their supercars that were in storage on. And that was the job I was furloughed from. And I actually moved there because I was like, I want to travel more, because obviously at Goodwood you are the venue. Everyone comes to you and has a lovely time, but I wanted to travel and go and see a bit more of what was going on in the world. And also, events when you're a venue is different to events when you're the agent delivering the events and pulling together different kind of logistics. So I wanted that experience. But we were just planning our first trip to Monaco of the year in 2020. And then there were these rumblings about this thing going on, this virus. And I was like, oh, we'll be fine. And we were not fine. I didn't get to travel at all with that job. So the whole big move to Newbury and renting out my flat and leaving Goodwood, which I was really sad about, but wanted to make the move, was all in vain.
Oh no, a lot to answer for COVID. We've said it for on the show, but we won't deep dive into that. No. So when you were in furlough, then is that what? So you decided to set up as a VA then?
Yeah. So basically, my boss at the time furloughed me, and I was like, "Oh, this." At first I was like, "This is great." And then I started to get a bit twitchy, like itchy feet, because I was furloughed for a whole year, which was a long time compared to like my friends going back to work, and everyone was like, "Oh, you must be loving it," and I was like, "Ugh, I feel like I don't have a purpose." So my boss was like, "You can just top up your salary if you want and get some freelance work." And then I found my first VA client, and she ended up. We went from 10 hours to like 40 hours a month. And basically, by the time my boss wanted me back, even though I thought I would be made redundant, I kind of had enough income to just give it a go. And I handed my notice in, and off I went. But I had no idea what I was doing. I was just enjoying working for myself, doing work that I enjoyed, that I was good at. But yeah, I had absolutely no plans.
Okay.
Yeah.
So from there, then, what type of work did you do for her then?
Mainly, she basically ran management courses and training courses for mainly businesses in the charity sector. So the work that I was doing for her was mainly organising, like sending off learner packs, like, you're booked onto this training list where you have to be and when, booking in her associates to deliver the training, like data management. Didn't do any diary management for her, but yeah, it was kind of like, it was almost the event side that I knew I was good at, quite organised, lots of spreadsheets. So that's what I did for her. And then I don't know how I picked up more clients. I think it was just it was word of mouth a lot to begin with. Like, I was on Instagram, but when you look back, have you ever looked back at like your old branding when you very first started, and you're just like, oh God, what was I doing? And you write about yourself, and it's like, I'm Harriet, I'm very, very organised, and I'm really upbeat and love to be part of a team. It's like, oh, I'm gonna write that now.
No, people used to say to me, like when I first started, they were like, "Oh, you're you're freelance administrator, VA, whatever it is, assistant, all that chat. You must be really organised." I was like, "I'm not." And they're like, "Well, what is it then?" I'm like, "High functioning anxiety." I was like, "There's a spider sense that goes off, and it's like, did you do that email? Did you do that job? Did you do the other?" I'm like, "Nope, I didn't, but I'm going to do it now." And that was it. And I was like, but obviously you don't write that back in like 2020 or whatever on the old thingy, do you? Like, oh, hey, just so you know, just holding on for dear life, just keeping these plates spinning. But there was a particularly cringe-worthy moment on my Instagram when I first kind of got into it. I did the first couple of posts, like, oh, hey, this is me and this is what I'm going to be doing. And then one week I decided that I was going to mix it up a bit and I was going to do like a post a day. And it was just like, just really weird, like chess pieces, a swimming pool picture. And it was like, it wasn't even the picture of the pool. It was like a picture of the bottom of the pool. Not, it was just a stock image, and I can't even remember what I said to it now. But I just look at them now, and occasionally you go all the way back, and you're like, oh my god,
Too far back.
Don't go too far back. No, but yeah, those early days. So Instagram then is that your preferred platform? Do you think?
Yeah. So I did have a moment last year where I was like, I'm going to do Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and I shouldn't have done that. It was too much, like spreading myself a bit thin. I probably should have maybe just picked to gently start dabbling in one of them and keep Instagram going. But I sort of ditched Instagram a bit, and that didn't go brilliantly. One of my boo-boos from last year was definitely doing that, but we live and learn.
I think Instagram is one of the harder platforms.
It is, but that is now where I get most of my business. So I shouldn't have just been like, I actually now get lots of traction. I'd say not necessarily leads, but traction from Threads. Really like Threads.
Oh yeah, I talked about Threads with Mel. That's how I came across her, I think.
Yes.
And yeah, I went on it when it first started. And then I was like, this is great. It's like Twitter, like, oh, I just had some broccoli for lunch. And then
On there.
and then I was like, this is just like Twitter. I don't know what to write. So I was like, all right, we won't write. And and so I kind of forgot about it. And then near enough to a year to the day, I went back on it. Just like I think I got a new phone. I got more memory on the phone, so it downloaded a few more apps. So I was like, oh, okay, better check out that Threads. So I went on it and I was like, ooh, these thread things are nice. And I was like, ooh, look at these people. Like, look at all the comments. Look at all the hearts and everything. I still like once a week I'll go on it and be like, oh, here's what I've been up to this week. And I'll do like 5 posts. It's all right. It's nice for a little browse, but it's not Instagram.
I find that I get a lot more. I find that people are a lot more willing to be open on Threads. I have, and I don't know if you agree with this, but I like anytime you talk about your tech stack on Threads, people love it. They get right in there to tell you what they do. They tell you why you shouldn't do that. Blah, 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 blah. And it just starts a conversation. I put something like that on my stories, told people what my tech stack was, put a little question box. And I was like, what's yours? Just out of interest. No one, not a single person. So yeah, Instagram's a bit different for me at the moment. I don't know. I just seem to have a lot more conversation and chit chat on Threads. Instagram for me, I know it shouldn't be like this, but it feels like I'm just sort of letting people know about what I'm up to rather than having conversations.
Yeah, I think I love to hate Instagram, and I can't be without it. And I talk to loads of people on there all the time. But it is hard work, and it's hard getting the engagement. You get your people watching, and then you'll do a post, and your stories will have, I don't know, 80 views, say, and you've just done a post, and like 160 people have viewed it, but you got 20 likes, and you've posted it to your stories, so your 80 people, they know that you've posted that, but they don't go and like it for you to support you. But it's better than LinkedIn.
Better than LinkedIn. I've given LinkedIn a go. I post the odd time there. I've got a few connections. I've made some nice connections actually. I've recently joined I think we should probably call it a community rather than like a membership or a course. It's definitely not a course. But I've recently joined Katie Skelton's community over there called Create Space, and I met Katie through LinkedIn. Didn't even know she had Instagram, but I looked on her page the other day. She's actually got 2,000 followers, so she obviously has done it in the past. But yeah, LinkedIn is where she spends most of her time. So I know it is successful for some, but maybe I haven't put enough into it because Instagram's always been my primary. But yeah, LinkedIn isn't not my favourite place to hang out.
No, I think that's the same for me. It should be where I hang out. That's where I should get clients, because of the business I'm in, right? And same for you probably. But I just don't know what it is about it. It's just, I think it's the whole kind of, you've got one side, you've got the old corporate Collins, like it's, this is LinkedIn. We must talk about our successes and stuff. And then the other side, you've got the old, we don't like them over there. No, this is Instagram for professionals. And I kind of find myself stuck in the middle, and I can't get into either team. They're like, no, you can't come over here. Go over there. And then you go over there, and they're like, no, you're not coming in here.
Do you also, I don't know if maybe I've just got into this world of the LinkedIn, like, I don't know if they even call them coaches, creators maybe, where everyone I connect with is someone that can help you build your audience on LinkedIn. And yeah, it's all about building on LinkedIn. And I'm like, I don't necessarily want to build on LinkedIn. I want to tell people like about how I'm really good. I don't necessarily need to build like a massive following, but it's a lot about building a big following. And I'm like, I'd happily have 10 people that would kind of keep coming back to me and buying from me. No, I don't need 10,000 people. I just want to know how to get my story and my expertise across to people. I don't need it to be 10,000. But it seems like there's a lot of build your following on LinkedIn. And I don't know if I just got into the wrong side of LinkedIn. I was like, oh God, I don't need to see this. Or I made 10 million sitting on the beach last weekend. that's another side of LinkedIn that I got into. I was like, oh god.
Yeah, no, that's the old I'm a six-figure business owner who sits in a cold pod at 5 o'clock in the morning kind of person, isn't it? Yeah, I famously the year before last came off Instagram because I just had enough of social media, all social media. I was just like, no, because every person was saying that I saw the post of was, hey, here's how you earn six figures. I get up at 5 o'clock, I take a cold shower. And I was like, really? And then it's like, next. And it's like, oh, hey, I earned six figures this year. Guess how I did it? And I'm like, oh, really? I bet you had cold showers and you got up at 5 o'clock in the morning. How did you know? Because the guy before you said that too. And I was just like, oh my God. And yeah, I hated it. I came off LinkedIn and for basically the summer. Sorry, not LinkedIn, all social media, basically. I didn't post anything. I consumed a little bit of personal stuff on Instagram. But yeah, I got like September and I was like, right, I'm back. Somebody tell me what's going on. And there's a reel there about it with that music. Like, but wish you wonder where I've been or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, LinkedIn, love to hate. Well, no, don't just hate that. There you go, full stop. Boom.
Yeah.
Might cut that out, might not. Right. I want to talk about good conversation about social media. Then I want to talk about tech stacks in a minute. And I've alluded to this on your stories yesterday, where you said don't just get a tech stack because you think everyone else is doing it. But I love a little change, I do. But we'll talk about that after. We're going to do the questions.
Oh yeah.
And then we'll talk tech stacks. So, questions. Now, we know that you must be 21. That's a wink for the listeners rather than watchers. What has been your favourite age so far?
It was probably, I don't know if it's an actual age, but 30, 31, 32. My 30s so far have been my best. I think I just know myself a bit more. I've had plenty of like fun, but I would say, yeah, 30s, 32, maybe, 33. 35 felt weird. 35 felt like I was in my mid-30s. That was the first time that I was like, oh, okay.
Okay. I was thinking about this yesterday, and I think I said this on an episode of a podcast somewhere, that as time has gone on, I feel like I have regressed. So, like, I got to, like, my mid-20s, and I'm like, I'm a grown-up, I must be serious. And then, like, I got to 30, I was like, yeah, right. And, like, so in my mid-20s, I was wearing, like, paisley shirts and, like, waistcoats and trousers and shoes all the time, all, like, dapper up. Look at me today. I've got a Bazinga t-shirt on.
You have. I think it's about like knowing yourself a bit more and just being like, I don't have to fit the mold. I don't have to join in with that. I don't have to do that if I don't want to, or to fit in. Yeah, so maybe it's that.
I think that was it. And I think I was just like, who wants to grow up, you know? So we don't have to pretend in our paisley shirts and stuff.
No, and I think it's like, it's even, as my business has grown up, not right, but as my business has kind of grown with me, I think I've just been more myself in my business as well. Like at first I thought I had to do XYZ to look professional, and it's just not the case. So yeah, it's that as well, probably.
Yeah, I like it. When I first started my page, I was part of a little group. So I thought that I had to, I was an executive assistant, a virtual assistant. So like there's pictures of me with a shirt on and a tie, and sat there like, oh, look at me. And then I did like a mini little photo shoot in our back garden with like suits on and stuff like that. And I was clean shaven at the time. And I was just like, people must think you're professional to do this. And then I was like, as time went on, I was kind of like, I like wearing a three-piece suit for about 5 minutes, and then it's too hot. I'm like, no, that's it. Take off layers, ties off, jackets off, waistcoats off, down to a shirt. Ta-da! Then I was like, okay, well, obviously not practical. Like walking around town trying to meet people with like three-piece suit on. No, thank you. So I was like, I'll get some polo shirts done up. So I got a polo shirt, had a little logo on it, and some black trousers and some black shoes. I was like, hey, look at me. Then I was still like, it's not really my vibe, man. And then when I rebranded, I was just like, jeans, funky shoes, black t-shirt, boom. I was like, I want people to think I work at Google or something, and a cool place to work, So, and that's how we ended up. So interesting, you say similar things. I'm sure you didn't start wearing a three-piece suit for your VA work though. I think that was just my special weirdness.
No, I didn't. I do enjoy not wearing heels because I did used to do that. And not that I had to, but there were some days where I used to do that in corporate, and I'm glad I don't do that anymore. They were annoying.
I must confess, I have never had to wear heels to work.
No. That would be fun.
I'm sure they make them in size 11, but
not going to try it.
Not going to try
the ankles.
Yeah, I would imagine that they are quite difficult to walk in. Right, question number 2. What is your favourite quote?
I don't know if I've got a favourite quote, but I do like the one, and you'll like this because of my stories yesterday, but I would say, like, recently I've really thought about this, but like, nothing changes if nothing changes. Like, you have to grow and change. I had a really tough year in business last year, and I realised, I've been reflecting on it quite a lot, and I realised that what I used to be able to do if it was quiet in business wasn't working last year, and I didn't change it quick enough. I didn't change up how I was trying to get new business quick enough, or I wasn't tuned into. I was just like, why is what used to work not working? I'm going to keep trying it because it should work. And actually, probably there's other things that I wish I'd done quicker, sooner. So nothing changes if nothing changes. I think it's that, some people are really resistant to change, and you can see that things aren't going to improve for them, and it can be scary to make changes. Some people are more open to it than others. I know you're probably into a change. But yeah, that would probably be it. Not sure if that's an official quote, but
I like it. I love it. In fact, it makes me think of 2 things. One is that we're all on a journey, and obviously you've kind of learned that on your journey. So now for next time or for the future. Yeah. And the second one is it's kind of twofold. And I think I've mentioned this on the podcast before, and this is going to be a solo episode. There's a book called Who Moved My Cheese? I don't know if you've read it.
I haven't read it. I've got it on my bookshelf, and I saw it yesterday. I was like, I need to read that book.
Yes, you do need to read that book. Somebody told me to read that book because when I was working at an employed role, a couple of employed roles back. No, one employed role back. We used to ship recycled plastic furniture, and it was free UK mainland delivery. Bear in mind, I was on inbound sales and customer service, and it's the marketing department that we're advertising, obviously. So it's like, there's always going to be. We were at loggerheads anyway, but it's free UK mainland delivery, and I was like, okay, that's cool. So anywhere in the mainland UK that's not disconnected by water, i.e. an island or Northern Ireland, free UK delivery, right? No. You're only allowed up to Stirling in Scotland. That is that. And I was like, no. I was like, mainland UK is mainland UK. And they were like, no, it's not. The couriers charge different. I was like, then we need to put a caveat in. It's not free mainland UK delivery, is it? So anyway, my colleague / manager was like, listen, you got to move with the times. You got to accept the change, move on. I was like, no, they should change it. It's not right. So she told me to read that book, and I read that book. And when you read that book, you'll understand my next sentence. But I changed jobs.
Yeah.
I'm going to full stop there. You'll understand
there was zero change.
You'll understand once you read it. But it's a great book. I tell all sorts of people about it. There have been people that have moved on when I've been in roles since that have moved on from where they were working because of my recommendation of reading it, and I've been like, no, don't tell them that I told you to read that. Like, just leave me out of it. But yeah, so great quote. Nothing changes if nothing changes.
Yeah, I think it's the same in like my fitness as well. Like, just keep running 5Ks. You're not going to get faster if you just keep running 5Ks. You're not going to run 10K if you just keep running.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And if you keep doing the same route, your body gets used to it.
Yeah.
Cool. Moving on. Question number 3. Google Suite or Microsoft 365?
Google all the way.
Elaborate.
I've literally just never. I think Microsoft just reminds me of being at work in my old jobs. Google's like a whole new world. Like, I think I had to use Teams once in a role as a VA, and it was horrendous. So yeah, no, Google. It's just, there's a lot of functionality. I get it. I don't understand Microsoft. I don't use it.
Yeah, Teams is an unfair example, I think. Teams have their problems, but
again, I don't understand it enough. But they were doing like the project management in Teams. I don't even know what part of Microsoft they were using, but there was some sort of project management going on. It wasn't great. So yeah, no, it's just not a good experience.
Okie doke. Question. I'm going to leave that there. Full stop.
Yeah.
When Microsoft listens to this, they might ask us why. Just so you know. Question number 4. What app can you not live without?
Don't want to say. I check it. I would say it's probably WhatsApp. Yeah. What app could I not live without? There's no app that I could not live without. But I did have a social media free day a while ago, and it was lovely because I left my phone on the train. That was nice. But yeah, WhatsApp.
Did you get the phone? Did you get the phone back?
Yeah, I moved for a lady to sit in the like disabled seats, and I left my phone on the table, and she saw me move, but she still handed my phone to the guard who got off the train, who'd helped them on the train, thinking that someone had left it. I was like, someone had left it. It was me. So then I had to sit next to her for the whole journey. I just missed it in the kerfuffle. Yeah, so I had to sit next to her for the whole journey, being like, did you hand my phone in? But actually, it ended up being quite a nice day without it.
Yeah. I want to try one of those. I'm going to try one of those. Hopefully, one day, soon. Question number 5. How many unread emails do you have on your phone right now?
None. I get so twitchy. When I see people with like 1,000 and like 1,400 unread emails, I don't know how they do that. How do you know if there's anything important? Why don't you just delete the spammy ones? Like, I don't get it. So yeah, I don't like any notifications on my phone. Have to get rid of them.
Nice, I like it. And so, question number 6. Ask this one because we've talked about it previously to the show. For regular listeners of the show, they know this question darts in and out. But question number 6: if you could afford any car, don't have to worry about the outlay, the insurance, the running costs, etc. What car are you having?
I would love a Jeep Wrangler. Yeah,
I like it.
Although I do like the Suzuki Jimneys, the new little ones that have come out. They look wicked. But yeah, Jeep Wrangler would be, pretty cool.
That would be pretty cool. I used to want a Jeep Cherokee, and we had a previous guest on our most popular episode on YouTube so far. She wanted a Suzuki Jimny, so maybe it's a Suzuki Jimny thing.
Yeah.
She said that their faces were cute. It's like, they're a car, they don't have faces, but...
Yeah, we'll go with it. No, that would be a cool little run-around car.
Yeah, great answers. So, with you working with posh cars previously, I would imagine that was quite a nice thing to kind of, quite nice things to look at as you kind of in your day-to-day life.
Yeah, we saw some really cool cars, and my office was actually, I don't know if you've ever been to Goodwood, but it's a historic motor racing circuit. So when they had their revival on every year with the historic races, my office was literally about 10 meters away from the track. So I had a very cool view, and yeah, it was cool place to work. I learned quite a lot about cars when I was there, and I do like nice cars, but yeah, I don't miss it. No.
No, no, I don't think anyone misses their old corporate job really. Freelancer life all the way.
Well, I do miss yeah, I do miss my team. I had a good team. I do miss that, like getting
I
around each
think that,
other,
yeah,
problem solving. Yeah,
I think that's the thing. I miss people. I don't miss the jobs.
yeah,
Especially when you sat here on your own with the dog, um, and music. Some days you're a bit like, oh, where's the water cooler? Let's go and have a chat to yourself.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I know what you mean. Cool. That is the questions.
Cool.
So tech stacks then. I'm going to tell you. So last night you posted on your stories. Don't basically add to your tech stack because someone else says to, when you've already got a really good tech stack.
Yeah, that and if you see like a fancy new feature on another tech stack that you think you need, just for that one particular thing.
Yeah, good. I'm glad I didn't completely butcher that.
No.
So I like a little change in my old day-to-day project
Ooh.
manager. So when I currently use with Moxie,
Yeah.
and there was an affiliate link available, though I'm not sure if I'm going to change. So I've removed my affiliate link because I would hate to sell something, but when I'm not
Mm.
completely happy with it, and the happiness is with me. It's a great product, but it's a bit overkill for my to-do list, I think. So over the Christmas period, I was looking at changing. And I was like, okay, so I've done Trello, I've done Asana, I've done Toggle Plan, I've done Use Motion,
Mhm.
and now I'm on with Moxie.
So I don't know a lot about with Moxie, but I thought it was more of a CRM.
Yeah, it is, but
Okay.
it's kind of everything. So it does all your onboarding, time tracking, to-do list,
Mm.
accounting, mail lists. Well, not what do you call them? Booking links.
Mailing. Oh yeah.
I don't know if it does mailing lists, but it's got loads. Client portals as well,
Mm-hmm.
which is quite fun if your clients are going to use them.
Do we know if
Um,
they do?
but I was like, they put the price up. I'm not best impressed. Even the funky 80s theme that they had, it was starting to look a bit flat, a bit boring.
Mm.
And I was like, I'm going to change. So I had a quick look at ClickUp,
Mm-hmm.
and that looked quite good. I liked the
Cool.
idea of the whiteboards that they had, but
Yeah.
what stopped me in my tracks was the setting up a project. So when I was in Asana, I think I had clients were projects, and then sub projects I had sub projects, which was the different types of tasks I would do, and then tasks went into that. So on
Mm-hmm.
ClickUp, I was a bit like, well, is the project the client or is the project the project? So for example, project H, we'll call them. No, sorry, client H, we'll call them. One of the projects is fee proposals / folders. So I was like, right, so am I going to set it as the project in ClickUp as client H, or am I just going to straight in as project as fee proposals / folders? So after that, I thought ClickUp is a big setup, not like the other ones that I've set up in the past. So I've parked that for now, and luckily for Moxie, they have had a few little updates and a little visual update, and so I'm sticking with that just for now. But I do like a change, and I do like setting them up. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's because I think it might be because they get boring a bit, don't they? Because you see it all day, every day.
Yeah, maybe. Just on the ClickUp thing, the hierarchy, if you think about it, like how you'd set it up to start with, is so ClickUp basically has spaces, which are your department. So marketing, accounting, CEO, delivery. In your delivery space, you have folders. So you'd have client H folder. Within that folder, you have lists or docs. Your list would be your fee proposal project. And then you might have another list that would be like general admin tasks. And then another list. Yeah, so that's where then, so it's like spaces your apartment, folders your client or your area. If you think of it as like a filing cabinet.
Yeah.
You've got your drawer is your department, then your like folders, your client. So the folder would be the client, and then within the folder you've got all your different projects or docs that you need for them in there.
Yeah. So maybe I'll revisit. But with Moxie, you have client. It's like client, project, task. And so I can't remember how I set it up with Asana, which was what I was using a couple of things back. But what I liked about Asana was when you completed a task, you got the little unicorn or the little
Do you
narwhal
remember
pop
that?
up.
Yes, I remember that when I used Asana. That is fun. Yeah, ClickUp doesn't have that. Maybe it does, and I haven't found it. But yeah, it's not as fun. But I do like it. I put lots of emojis in mine, and you can change like the brand. You can put your brand colors in, and that makes it a bit more fun. But I do know what you mean. I think we, as just generally society, like we want things now when we see them. I don't think we take such considered decision making anymore. I think it's more like, I want that thing now because that looks good and I need that. And I know particularly with like tech tools, I know people like to dart around and use different elements of tech tools for too many things, in my opinion. I do believe that I know a lot of the apps and the tech like to say things like I think ClickUp's like one tool to do it all, and I don't agree with that. I don't think its time tracking is as good as others. I still use Toggle. I do need to make the transition because I think that the time tracking has got better. You know, when you're a bit comfortable as well. So yeah, I don't agree with just using one thing and really trying to force it to do the thing you need it to. But I also, don't think that, I do think that people jump ship onto, not even jump ship, they just like have too many different things going on in too many different apps. My brain couldn't cope with it anyway. But that's just me.
Yeah, I like Toggle. I used to have the paid version before I moved to. I nearly said Asana then. Moxie.
Yeah.
And I liked the reports, and I liked that you could just click it and you could see where, because you add your earnings and your rates and things, you could see where you're at. One thing I did like about ClickUp, which was something that was on Toggle Plan, was estimates.
Yes,
So
really good idea.
Yeah, so or estimated time. So I know that like a 15-minute, I know that for a fee proposal, I get 15 minutes timed. So I would pop that in, and then it says at the top of your day how much time you've got left to put into your day, which was I think it's a great feature. Moxie, if you listen to this, you need to add that.
Yes.
If I stick with Moxie.
And you know, you mentioned portals, client portals, and do they ever look at it? So on ClickUp, you could make. I've seen people make like a dashboard. That's the only thing that's shared with their client is just the dashboard, and that dashboard has like a form where they can submit requests, and it also has the time that they have already used in hours in the month, and how many hours they've got left, or whether it's on like deliverables and how many tasks they've got left in their pot. That's quite a good thing to be able to like pull through, because then it saves like, oh, where are you up to with your hours, or like how many more thingies can I ask for? It's like kind of saving you time answering emails like that and messages like that.
I would think though that getting the client to use the portal is the trick.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Because a lot of them you can be like, here's the portal, and they'll be like, I'll just send you an email, because that's always worked.
Yes, I think if there was a form on there and you pushed back when they requested it via email for the third time, you could probably get them to. I think a lot of the time it's about, I always say, like, I don't want to miss something. So if you email me this request, it's likely to get missed because that's not the system that I've created to deliver the best work. So that's always how I'd kind of just gently push back on that. I totally get that, like, you want to make things easy for your client, but I don't think there's much difference between writing an email and filling in a quick form if it's something like a request for a task or an update or a change. But I do know what you mean. As a user of portals, as like, when I've been a client, I haven't always been interested, but I do respect the fact that if someone wants me to request something and it's a form, that's the process, I'll fill in the form.
Yeah, I like it. So talk to us then about HEO. That's what your business is called now, isn't it?
Yeah. And there is another change coming, but so basically I set up as Harriet Evans OBM. I'm not an OBM anymore. I need to change it. But and like HEO is kind of like the initials that I obviously Harriet Evans Ops is what my Instagram handle currently is. That's where you can find me. And I've got a name and I've bought the domain and I've saved the Instagram handle, but I'm just nervous to make the move. I think because last year I made some. Yeah, nervous.
Is this a Rad-Ventures exclusive?
I haven't announced the name of it, no.
Oh well, this isn't going out until probably March time, maybe a bit later.
Oh,
maybe. Okay, I won't force you. So you bought the domain. Tell us the story then. So you've got you're ready to press the button, but you're not sure.
Yeah, I'd like to press the button on it. I'm not 100% sure. I basically just don't want to alienate people. I felt like I did a little bit of alienating last year when I dropped OBM and I was offering different services, and I don't want to start my year again with people being like, who is that? That's not someone I know. I know Harriet. Like, it's more of a business, so it's a business name rather than my name, and I'm tentative. So it doesn't need to happen. It's not like a major, but yeah, it will happen.
You could have it as like a subsidiary, couldn't you? If it's not if it's something that you don't want to proceed with, you could always have it set up separately on the side, and then that kind of links into you. You could always keep your Harriet Evans page going as your personal brand, which is all the rage in 2025, as I'm led to believe.
It is. I might just change the domain and not change, like, say, my Instagram handle just for now and just leave it as it is, because it all still works. Yeah, it's just a bit scary.
It is scary. I remember when I changed, and because I was Richard Langdon, the Contemporary PA, because I was part of the group, the Contemporary PA, and so everyone else was what was it, like, licensees is what we were. Was it licensees?
Yes.
Yeah, licensees. That's what we were called. And so you had your name and then the Contemporary PA. And so, like I'd said earlier, I had my little shirts on and my little tie on, and I was like, "Look at me!" And then when I rebranded, I was like, I want it to kind of be cool. And like I was born in 1985, so I like grew up in the 90s. We had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, we had WWF wrestling before they had to change. Yeah. We had Wayne's World, we had Bill and Ted. And so I was like, yeah, I want that kind of vibe, you know? And then I was like, oh, do I call it Radmin? Does that work? And it was like, I don't know. And then I found out that Radmin is actually a remote login in software. So I had to add the assist bit so that I didn't get a letter to say you've nicked our name, because when I'm bigger than they are. But it was all a big worry, and I kept running it past people. And then I designed a logo that I thought was kind of like, oh, look at this, what do you think? And everyone was like, yeah, no, it's good, it suits the logo and stuff like this. And then I found out a year in, everyone was like, yeah, people were saying oh, he's really great at what he does. The branding's great, but his logo makes him look like a schoolboy. And I was like, oh. So I was a bit like, so I changed the logo. But it was it was all that worry, and you speak to people, and everyone's got a different opinion on it and stuff. And it was like, oh God, do I do this? Do I do not do this? And I have 2 domains. I have the radminassist.com or radmin-assist.com. That's parked because I thought it would be much more fun. Oh, it's not .com, sorry, it's .co.uk. So I thought it'd be much more fun to have rad-admin.co.uk as my domain. And so, so everything is from radmin-assist.co.uk is pushed over. And all my stuff, my email address is richard@rad-admin.co.uk and info@ and all that. And then I was a bit like, people are sat there going, oh, what is it? Rad admin. And I'm like, no, it's just Radmin. And then they're like, oh, so what's your website? I'm like, that's Rad admin. And they're like, oh, I'm like, oh, I think I've overcomplicated it. And the only one that really knows is me.
So it does. It sounds like you've got it so straight in your head, which is great.
Yeah, which is not great for everyone else. But so I would advise to proceed with caution.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you got to do you at the same time.
Yeah. I'm definitely not going to ask anyone else about it because, too many opinions. But it's got HEO, Harriet Evans ops in it. It's just there's other bits that I'm panicking about. Yeah.
Well, I would say don't worry about it too much. Try it.
Yeah.
What's the worst that could happen? But I started that because I was, well, what did you tell us about the services you offer? That was what I wanted. So tell us what you do then with your systems and project manager bits that you do now.
Yeah, so I've got basically your tech setups where we go through your whole client experience and we use Dubsado and ClickUp to implement those systems. So your client experience is amazing. You're saving yourself time. You're giving yourself a bit of more headspace on actually delivering rather than doing all the manual bits. I do a full setup so you can have Dubsado and ClickUp and Zapier if you wanted it all, or you just say oh, I just want Dubsado or I just want ClickUp, or can you help me with some Zaps? That's all project based. And then I've got my consultancy services. So one is more like a strategy piece where we literally just do the design of the client experience system and then you go off and implement it. Or then there's consultancy, which is a 3-month retainer where it's called System Sister. So basically I'll just be your tech client experience person you can come to and be like, what do you think of this? This feels clunky. Can you help me? I want to onboard a VA, or I want to take on a new team member and I want to make a plan for it. So it covers kind of anything. So we have a call every month and then just support in Slack. So those are the main ways to work with me. Either I do it for you, the tech setups, or we work together and improve everything with me doing consultancy for you.
Nice. I like it. And so I know ClickUp can be free, or yes. You can do a paid version based on the business size, I think, isn't it, and per user.
So it's not to do with the business size. Maybe they do recommend it when you first go on to see, but it's to do with how much you want to customize it. So if you start making custom fields, basically it limits you to a point. I don't know what the limit is. I can't remember. It's not loads. Before it says, oh, you need to pay £7 a month per user or $7 a month per user. I think I pay something like 15. I'm in the Business Plus package, which works really well. $15 a month per user, which is okay. I've got everything I need. Like, I definitely don't need to upgrade. I've got my, I can brand my forms and and then Dubsado. I am now newly certified Dubsado specialist, so I can get like 30% off your first year. So that ends up, it's $400 normally, so $320 odd a year. It's not too bad.
Nice, I like it. And does Dubsado offer monthly as well?
Yes, monthly. So I can give you 30% off your first year or first month. But I think most people opt for a year just because of that discount. But you can do monthly.
Nice, I like it. Cool. So Zaps then.
Yes.
I keep meaning to get into those because when I spoke to Mel, she has one that when she onboards a client, she gets a little message on Slack that does a little dance for her.
Yeah, it's fun, isn't it? Yeah.
I know. I want one of those. Well, I want it for something else. I want it. I don't know what I want it for. I don't something like when something happens. I want the little dance on Slack. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is that I don't know what's going to trigger it yet, but I'm
set
working
that up
on
on
it.
the free plan, because the free plan is basically a one-step Zap. So this happens and then this happens is on the free plan. It's when you want this happen and then this happens, then this needs to happen, that you have to start paying for it. But your basic ones, you could definitely get your Slack one sorted today if you wanted to.
Yeah, I'm going to look into that. I'm going to pick what happens. Maybe I get like an Instagram message, and then I get a little Slack dance. Yeah.
Yeah. Or you get like a new podcast guest book in, and you get a little Slack dance.
Maybe I could do. They are quite sporadic now, but I'm not pushing it too much. I was like, in the Christmas, I was like, right, I've got like 4 booked in. I've started spreading them out a bit more because when I started, I did like 3 or 4 a week because I wanted to get ahead of the curve, as it were. And then I kind of cut it down, and so now I think I only allow 2 per month. I think.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm now booked up till April, I think. So I wouldn't get a Slack announcement as often as I like. So maybe I'll do something like when someone watches an episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know if it can do that, but try it.
I'm going to try it.
It can do most things. It just connects to so many apps. Some people don't like it. They prefer to not have to pay. I guess if they're on the paid plan, they'd pay for another thing. Because, a lot of the apps like ClickUp connects now to other apps. They've got their like internal integration. So some people are finding that they can find ways around it without having to use Zapier, but it's great. I like it.
Yeah, good. Okay, so final thing before we start thinking about wrapping up. We're not wrapping up now, though, just for those people that are watching that could abandon the video here. You recently did what was it you did last week? A membership trial. Yeah, free challenge, that's the one. Tell us about that, because I reckon, from what I've read, you're going to do another one of those.
Yeah, it's really good. It was good. So I did that. That was my nothing changes if nothing changes thing. I was like, I need to do something different. I need to try something different. And I'd joined a couple of challenges end of last year, and I really enjoyed them. And I thought, I'm going to do one of these. So I came up with a free 5-day challenge for you to overhaul your onboarding so that your clients are like, wow, this is really good. And you're also like, this is really good. And you're not stressed about onboarding your clients. So I did that last week. I think I had like 100 sign-ups, 60 people joined Slack, and then probably about 35 people actually actively got involved. But I know people, my friend didn't, like, my friend told me she was just like, I was just lurking. And I know that there probably were other people that were just watching. And she said, I learnt loads, even though she didn't join in. So I'm going to say like 30, 40 people probably had eyes actually on it.
Nice.
And I've had 4 conversions from it, which is great. And hopefully we'll have some more. I just felt like it was a really good way to, show my expertise for free to some people that might be a bit unsure or just want to learn. So many people just want to do it themselves. And I didn't previously give a load of free things. I've got my blogs, but I haven't done lots. So I think that this year is going to be one of my things to focus on, is free resources and free what I can, value I can give for free. So yeah, I'm going to do that, and I will be doing it again probably every 6 months, I think. But in between, I'm just doing the sales page for it now. I'm going to be running free monthly peer support groups. It's called Client Experience Campfire. So you basically come around the campfire, bring your client experience and tech issues to the group, and we help solve them together. Obviously, I'm the expert in the group, but so many times people are like, oh, I've done this or I've tried this. Just share ideas with each other. So that's my other sort of free way to work with me.
Nice, I like it. Okay, so if somebody is sat there now currently then saying, this all sounds fantastic, how do I work with Harriet? Why don't you tell everyone where they can find you, including your website, is the current one, not the new one, and your social media handles. Of course, I will put them in the show notes too.
Yeah, so you can find me at Harriet Evans -obm.com or on Instagram at harrietevans.ops.
Nice. And just to confirm, Harriet is Harriet.
Correct.
Not any of the other spellings. No. Cool. Well, I appreciate you coming on the show, Harriet. It's great to talk to you and to meet you. I don't think we've spoken. Well, we've had a quick chit chat on the old Instagram, but not loads. So yeah, appreciate you coming on. If you've made it this far in the show and you're still here, I appreciate you too. And I'll be back next week with another guest. But in the interim, peace out. Thanks for joining us on Rad-Ventures. Don't forget to subscribe via your favourite platform. Always happy to chat, so hit me up in the DMs, and I'll see you on the next Rad-Venture.